In our society, we have this idea that a really worthy person is someone who can do it on their own.
Okay. That's an old idea, but go ahead.
It's an old paradigm. Yes, I would say it's medium old. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to do it on your own. You got to do it for you. If you do it for someone else, it doesn't matter. And I can't think of a job that you do just for you.
I can't either, and I think most people that are in leadership positions have figured out that true leadership, or the way to get things done, is to create more leaders.
You don't get to do it alone. It won't work.
You can't. You can't, it fails every time. Or the mission stops once you're gone. Right?
Yeah.
If you haven't helped other people also lead, whatever you believed in leaves with you.
When they came up with the term, they were really trying to steer clear of the self-esteem conversation. And this is not to say that we shouldn't value ourselves. Mm-hmm. She's talking about like this mutual worth that comes from when we're connected, like that increased sense of worth of growth fostering connection. In this culture where we're like, do it on your own, don't depend on other people, you got to learn to depend on yourself. How do we value our connections and our experiences in a culture that emphasizes competition? What do we have to do in order to wholeheartedly value connection?
God, Amy, I think you have to modify the culture, right? In the culture where it's all about me and all about being a winner, few win, right?
Right. So what happens to everybody else?
Exactly. At Griffin Realty, I think we actually model our office off of that concept of where everyone is working together. It's not about individual accomplishments. It is, mm-hmm. but we do it as a team.
Yeah.
So when someone does have an individual accomplishment, it's not, no one's ever looking at the other person and saying, oh my gosh, that person did better than me this year. Like, you don't even pay attention to that. In fact, I don't even have them paying attention to how much they sell. That's not what is the value. The value is community building and that kind of thing. And just, boy, and you may end up making more money that way.
I don't want to downplay just the inherent value in connection, like in having a place to go to work where the relationships matter, where it's not like, let me get to work, let me get this much stuff mm-hmm. done, and then let me get home so that I'm done producing and giving away, but rather, let me get to work, let me feel supported, let me offer support, mm-hmm. let me laugh together, and let me learn together, and all of these things, like, let us do those things in a mutual way. My new thing is like, how many mistakes can I make? Because I find myself making mistakes all the time, and then getting closer to doing things together the way I want to do them.
Mm-hmm. Are you making mistakes, or are you allowing yourself to experiment and think outside the box?
Well, sometimes I'm just screwing up. I mean, that's definitely something that I do.
But that's okay. I mean, as humans, that's what we're allowed to do, right? We're not supposed to be perfect.
Right, and I think that again is a piece of like the worth, because we get this idea that if we XYZ, if we make this much money, if we get these grades, if we have this many friends, or if we get this job, like whatever it is, that if we get those individual things, then we're worthy, mm-hmm. right? Then we have worth. And rather than that, seeing worth as the co-creation of connection, that's a huge paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And to me, that the days that I come home from work and I'm like, Kevin can't stop me from talking, those are the days that's what's happened. It's not like I come home and I'm like, you won't believe how great I was today. Because a lot of times these stories start off with, you won't believe how much I screwed this thing up. Mm-hmm. And then as a team, we worked on this and this is what happened. And I feel so good about all of us working together to create this worthiness. Yeah. And because we value the connection.
That's an interesting space to be in. To look at every mistake or every problem that comes up as an opportunity to do better and to do good.
To learn. To learn.
Yep.
Yeah, even if you want to like do all Mythbusters on it and be like, it's data. Yeah. Failure is always an option.
I mean, in this last job I had as deputy mayor, that was the key. Like, you have 100 million things happening on a daily basis because you have every single department and the interaction between departments at the city. You got 850 plus employees, and so every day stuff is going wrong, or you're getting a report on something. I mean, and there's things that you can't even, a tree limb falls on something.
That was probably your fault. Though,
yes,
so,
I mean, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not my fault, but now it's my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're in it together, so you have to come up with...
Yeah.
So. I was imagining you with, like, all these different texts and all these different people being like, this gas thing happened, this tree limb fell, this street is flooded, this person was mean, this, all of these things. When you come into that with a really individualistic, like... okay, but which of these is worth more? Then you're never going to be able to do it. Oh, my God. Right?
Yeah, because the first time I came in, I'm going to be honest, the first time I wanted to fix everything. I had all these ideas. Oh, my God, this is not going to happen. I wanted to fix everything. And the first couple of weeks, I was frustrated being in the mess and then finally saying, okay, like, all these people have been doing this for many, many years, a lot longer than I have. I need to listen to them.
Oh gosh.
And that's when you do have to let people lead. Mm-hmm. And it really did change I thought I was woke when it came to leadership. Does that make sense? I thought I was a person that listened. Yeah. But truly realizing that you are not the smartest person in the room, it was the best thing for me as far as figuring out leadership.
What goes, for me at least, right hand in hand with that is a faith in the connection. What I noticed in myself, like where I really screw up, is when I lose sight of that and I jump in and I try to fix. I'm like, wait a minute, do this. I know the answer. Yeah. Everybody listen to me because I'm pretty smart. And that pretty much always fails. The group, like the connection, the co-created worth and energy and creativity and zest, all of those things are more. I have sort of a little inner mantra that frequently is just shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Mm-hmm. When I can do that and hear what the other people are bringing in, there's things that I didn't even see because I was so looking at like this specific goal that I'm so focused on that I'm not seeing these things that could support us and that are in the way because I'm too busy fixing. And not listening.
And I don't. Sometimes I have to get out of the way of. I'm still that black kid in the classroom. Yeah. That the teacher assumes is stupid. That's me trying to prove that I'm smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you've got like that combination, which would be like an entire other conversation for us, but of, what they call the controlling images, which would be like that teacher's idea about the black kid troublemaker.
Yes.
Idea, and that's on you. And then you've also got your own relational images about like what you've learned about how to be in connection and who you want to be and what you think your internal rules about being a good person or being in a relationship are. And so like that's a lot to juggle as a little guy.
As a little guy, yes. And I'm not little anymore.
Well, but I mean, he's here with us.
You know what I mean? I'm a grown-ass man now, right? There are reasons why we are trying to all escape what society thinks about us, has a predetermined idea of who we are, and we're trying to, we have to show that we're smart.
What happens when you shift that into valuing the connection? Because then you don't have to be the smart one. You don't have to have the answers. You just have to be present.